As a beginner, we start learning chords, and then soon after we start learning a scale like the pentatonic scale. If you're an intermediate and want to start sounding advanced, don't miss what I'm going to teach you today. Grab your guitar and let's get into it. If I knew this sooner, I would be a much better player right now. Even if we only know a few chords and the pentatonic scale, we need to sound connected. We need to focus in the position we're in. Let's say E chord here. E minor pentatonic, E major pentatonic. But know those scales within the chord, the area that you're playing in. A great way to practice this concept, hit a chord, E, play the minor pentatonic, play the major pentatonic. Don't stop there. Have another area here, minor pentatonic. Major pentatonic. Minor. Some of you are saying this is already too complicated, but it's not. Take the root note of the chord. In this case, there's an E note right here in the 9th fret of the G string. Know where that corresponding pentatonic scale is: minor, major. I always like to look at it. My third finger is going to be set up to do a minor pentatonic run. If I put my first finger on that root note, and it's like that everywhere on the fretboard. E right here. 2nd fret of the D string's a root note of E. Major. Two completely different sounds right at your fingertips. Don't separate the chords that you're using and the scales. Have a connection. And it doesn't matter what chords you use. If you go to A, the same thing. When I look at that root note on this for this A chord, a root note here in the 7th fret of the D string, I'm set up. If I put my first finger here, I'm set up to play major. That's how I look at it. And if I put my third finger on the root note, set up for minor pentatonic. E. Third finger right on that root note. Third or the first finger now on the root note. And it's like that all the way up the major pentatonic. We're at a root note here in the 12th fret. If we go put our third finger on it, we're set up for minor. Now I'm looking at a major. Minor. Don't underestimate the power of that root note. I know a lot of you make fun of the way I say it. It's such an important way to visualize this fretboard. When I'm improvising, I'm looking for those root notes all over the fretboard. Right there, you see groupings of notes around the root note. It's good to know these intervals, but also just to have a visual that you can look down and see these groupings around a chord you're using. Then you're well on your way. If you can do that, you'll start sounding much more advanced and connected when you play. And this is a fun way to practice because you're just picking up the guitar, you're hitting a chord, playing a major or minor, I'm trying to play some of this slow so you can see my fingering here. Minor, and then that major when you put your first finger on the root note. E root note right here in the 5th fret of the B string. Put my first finger there. I love that major sound. And if I'm hammering on with my third finger here, same note. But don't stop there. Do it everywhere on the fretboard with any chord. This is movable, but check this out. Anywhere there's a root note, and if you're a beginner or really early intermediate player, this is a bit much for you. Do it in one area of the fretboard till you're comfortable with it, and just take the A chord, locate those root notes, and if this bar chord is easy to find them because they're in the 5th fret, 7th fret of the D string, you have the root notes right there. If you want to play major, have your first finger set up for that. Another A chord right there. This is a first step in being able to play up and down this fretboard because you're looking for a root note, playing groupings of notes around that root note. Right there. It really seems like we overthink this. I get a lot of questions on my channel about improvising and how a lot of you struggle with just improvising and putting your own take on a backing track. But if you use this simple concept, you will start sounding advanced in no time, I promise you. If you want to be able to play up and down this fretboard, locate the chord in a couple areas of the fretboard. Play around the root note of the chord in that area.